know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. Bright Cellars is the monthly wine club that matches you with wine that you'll love. Get started by taking the Taste Palette quiz to see your personalized matches. Now, Bright Cellars matches you with wines from all over the world, curated to your taste buds. They are focused on finding unique hidden gems from small vineyards all over the world. And with hundreds of private label wines, you'll be able to try a new wine you've never tasted before. All you need to do is take their 7-question quiz so they can gather your taste preferences and deliver wines you're guaranteed to love. Each box is completely unique to your taste palette, meaning no box is ever the same. Each box comes with wine education cards for each bottle that outline the tasting notes, suggested pairings, best serving temperatures, and its origins. Wine wisdom cards help show you how to store and open your wine, keeping it tasting fresh for longer. Now, all Sweet Pea Diaries viewers will get 60% off your first purchase by clicking on the link in the description box below. Thanks again to Bright Cellars Wines for sponsoring this video. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to the channel. And if you're a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like the video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what time it is. All right, we got Deion Sanders in the building. We got Gigi. We got Day One, Queen April, the real Penny. We got Sexy Brown Eyes, Courtney Jackson, Gigi. I said Gigi. We got Miss Mooney in the house. We got famous producers, Mimi Twin, Susie Jones, Michelle Lane, Mira, VJBD. We got Sweetness Forever. What's going on, my sweeties? Thank you guys for waiting. Y'all know I get off late, so I be having to prepare my slides. I have some receipts. We're going to do a review, honey. I took the liberty of gathering the clips from No Jumper that I wanted to talk about. Hey, Queen Brielle. Hey, Nita. And I wanted to go over this shit, okay, because y'all been like, Sweet Pea, where you at, girl? Tasha is out here fooling. What's up, KB? Y'all said Tasha's out here fooling, and we need to know what you think about this heifer. All right? She's on just doing press runs, going everywhere, talking to everybody. She's everywhere. She's on No Jumper. She was supposed to be on Joe Budden, but Joe Budden said, nah. His lawyers got to looking over that interview, and Joe Budden says that it was a liability. That it was a lot of things going on in that interview, and it just wouldn't have been smart to air it. And plus, Cardi B was like, you better not air that, boy. And he didn't air it, boy. The queen has spoken. All right, so we're going to talk about all that. All of that. She got the nerve. Tasha K got the nerve to be calling Christian Rock a train wreck. Girl, what do you think you are? But a lot of people, now if you don't know who we're talking about, because apparently some people don't know who Tasha K is. According to Adam from No Jumper, He said when he was going around telling people that he was going to be doing this interview with Tasha K, they didn't even know who he was talking about. So apparently, some people do not know who Tasha K is. So we got to fill the people in. Tasha K is a YouTuber, all right? She's a YouTube blogger, and basically, yeah, she's a YouTuber. She has a Google package like all of us. YouTube is an app within that Google package, and the free app YouTube, and she does videos, celebrity gossip. Basically, that's who she is, and she fucked around and got sued by Cardi B because she made some accusations. She spread some lies, and Cardi B sued her, and a jury found Tasha K liable for defamation to the tune of $3.8 million. So, yeah, she thinks that she's, in the industry, and so she got upset. Joe Budden didn't air the video. She basically went live from her Silverado that she owns. What is it, a 2021 Silverado or something like that? She listed on the bankruptcy paperwork, child. Well, she went live from that truck, and she basically cussed Joe Budden out. So this is going to be a review. We're gonna go over honey, we're gonna go over the interview. We're gonna go over her going off. Dion says, so you doing this kind of content again in this DOC channel, Sweet Pea? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm gonna do a review, and we're gonna talk about Tasha K and her foolery, child. Because she told a bunch of lies on that goddamn interview. She was all over, okay? She was all over the place in that interview. She was telling all types of stories. She was telling all types of lies. One minute she was from Panama City, wherever this is from, Panama City, Florida, wherever. Then the next minute she was an army brat that was stationed over in Germany. I said, woo, child, I have whiplash. I can't keep up. I mean, she was all over the place. Okay. One minute she was 5 or 6, then she jumped up to a teenager. I said, child, I don't know where we at. You lost me, Tasha K. Now, some people said that it humanized her. This interview, they watched it, and they kind of saw a human side of Tasha K, and they could relate. Child, not me. I saw a bunch of cap, a bunch of bullshit in that interview, and we're going to break it down. I took the liberty of gathering the clips of where I saw the bullshit, where I smelled of the bullshit. Okay. Yeah, honey, they said human. You tired of Atlantic Records? Okay, they need to sue her. You tired of her lying on Atlantic? Child, she talking about Atlantic is broke. Cardi is broke, and the budgets ain't given. I said, what? Nita said, I thought the judge said it was certain things that Tasha was not supposed to be talking about when it comes to Cardi B. She definitely is not, which is why we going to get into why Joe Budden did not air that interview, okay? But Tasha K, the master, she's the master of manipulation. She is the master of deflection. And she definitely, when she went live, dragging Joe Budden, she tried to pull Black women in. She tried to pull us in to that bullshit and subscribe to that mentality. Drag a Black man. Now you want to add all the Black women to join with you. She said she bald-headed, Black. You forgot ugly. You forgot big teeth. You forgot that. She said bald-headed, Black. I said, okay, come on. Ugly. Where is it? I was like, okay. And she left that part out. All right. But I'm like, girl, stop. I was appalled listening to her with Adam on that interview. She used the N-word repeatedly. She talked about Black people as if we were still slaves, talking about Black women if you want that if black men want a black submissive woman, they could go on over to Africa and where they raise black women to be submissive. Then she said black women ain't never minded having 3 and 4, being a side bitch, having and being a sister wife and having 3 and 4 different women. The man can have all these wives. I said, when black women ain't never minded that. Girl, speak for yourself. You done got over there in that African culture and talk about black women ain't never minded. Girl, use a motherfucking lie. Black women are territorial and they do mind. Speak for yourself. Okay? Okay? I'm going to tell you, Joe Budden wanted to interview Tasha to spite Cardi, but it backfired. No, I don't think so, Mira. I think that Tasha K wanted to interview with Joe Budden, but it backfired on her. Okay, because No Jumper, that was a good one. But honey, I don't think that Joe Budden, because see, Joe Budden doesn't gain anything from this interview with Tasha K. He doesn't gain anything as far as algorithm. He doesn't gain anything financially. He doesn't really gain anything. It would be all for Tasha K. So Tasha picked Joe Budden because of the undertones with Cardi B. She wanted to contact him and get that interview because she knew if Cardi had saw her on Joe Budden's platform, she wouldn't have liked that. So she picked Joe because of Cardi B. See, Tasha's slick, but that's why it didn't work out, because God don't like ugly. Okay. And Tasha's not polished. She's not media tour ready, and she needs to be more polished. So I'm trying to get more people, give people time to get up on in here before we start this review, honey, because it's a lot of people that want to hear what Sweet Pea got to say about this. And I understand why, because y'all want to hear the truth. Thank you, Gabrielle, for the $1.99. And I'm going to tell y'all, my people, listen, my sweeties been hitting me up and they told me, Sweet Pea, F these people, you put your Cash App up because your fans and your peoples, yes, I said fans because that's what you guys are, supporters, fans, subscribers, whatever you want to call it. Your supporters want to donate to you and they want to give you Cash Apps. You can't punish us for a few people that was dragging you about some damn Cash Apps, girl. Put your Cash App back up. Everybody else got theirs up, so put it up. So my sweetie said stop the bullshit, so I put it back up, child. Y'all want to go ahead and hit the Cash App? Y'all want to send it by PayPal? Y'all want to send it Zelle? Whatever y'all want to do. If y'all want to donate to the show, they said let them do it, Sweet Pea. Do not block your blessings. So I'm not going to block my blessings, okay? I will never do that again, sweeties. I'm sorry, but y'all know how it is. Now listen, let's get into the first clip. Now, we're going to start off with No Jumper. All right. Because I think the No Jumper kind of circles back around to Joe Budden. Okay. So we're going to listen to this No Jumper interview. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, please don't get triggered. I'm going to go in on some of the things she said. She's talking about being molested when she was younger. She's going to be talking about that, and I'm going to break that down. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm trying to victim shame anyone or that I'm saying it didn't happen or it's not true. But I just noticed some inconsistencies with her interview and the timeline and some of the things that she was saying. I was a little disturbed and I also was a little confused. So we will be touching on that topic. So if that's something that you don't want to hear or you don't want to talk about, maybe you can excuse yourself at that part. All right. Hey, Auntie Niecy. Thank you, boo. She says, hey, boo, toilet brush K is trash. All right. So let's start out with the first clip.
It's just been a comedy hype. I mean, we've just been on a really intense press run. So,
right.
Yeah.
Are you having a moment right now? Is it fair to say?
What do you mean a moment?
I don't know. It feels like maybe some of the outside world, the peripheral observers are getting more tapped into the Tasha K movement.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching a lot of your content, and I
You
love,
watch my content for real?
I've been watching it this week because I was just in Hawaii for a week.
Okay.
So I'm out there doing cardio, walking around on the beach and shit, and I'm listening to Tasha K in the headphones.
And you're trying to figure out, like, what's this about? Like,
Oh, it's easy. You're an extremely talented broadcaster.
Thank you.
Oh, you're amazing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I'm a massive fan.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. A lot of people are fans. They just don't broadcast it. You know?
Well, I didn't know how much of a fan I was. I kind of had like limited knowledge. I knew it would be a dope interview, but when I really started diving in, I was like, wow, she is really out here.
Thank you.
Because somebody said this one time, and it wasn't something that I necessarily felt qualified to have an opinion on, but they said, when you look at Black female live streamers,
Yeah.
you are in a class of your own.
Yes.
That there is nobody else who can hold an audience.
That is very
like
true.
you.
And especially being from the South. A lot of Black broadcasters are either from the North or West Coast or Midwest, but the South has never really had a voice. I mean, the housewives gave us a voice, but, you know, in the South, you're supposed to be seen and not heard. You know, we're Southern belles. We go to school, we get married, we shut the f up. We gossip behind the scenes, but it never makes it to the streets, you know? So for me, I'm just putting all that out because I'm a country bitch at the end of the day, and we love to talk about somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So you think that's why it comes so natural to you to speak about other people's personal lives?
Absolutely. I grew up like that.
Right.
Like, I mean, my mama, they'll probably talk about somebody right now. Like, you know, that's what we do.
Wow, I love it. Okay,
Yeah.
but as much you see, there's a problem when you are dealing with people who consistently interview people. Then when you go to YouTube and you type in Tasha K interview, it's strictly feeding you people that you've interviewed. So I was kind of having a hard time really like learning about your early career and stuff. And I definitely want to touch on that.
So I'm pretty sure that if we were to, you know, look into it, we would be able to find some Black broadcasters and journalists from the South. I mean, I believe Oprah Winfrey is from the South. I believe, you know, there are multiple women from the South that are Black. But a Southern belle, I wouldn't call it a Southern belle. Honey, more like a Black ghetto YouTuber, honey, a Black streamer, a Black woman that is on YouTube. And I want people to stop calling this woman a journalist and a broadcaster. Tasha K is a YouTuber. Those are different categories. She's not a broadcaster. She didn't go to journalism, school for journalism, broadcasting, or anything like that. Tasha K is a YouTuber. She is on a free app like everybody else. She just has 1 million subscribers, and she just happened to go viral, and she just happens to have a larger platform than some. But she is not a journalist, and she is not a broadcaster. Okay? She is a messy YouTuber, like Mooney said. Okay? That's what she is. She's not a broadcaster or a journalist. And I'm not, it's no shade, it's no hate, it's no envy. I'm just telling the truth. She's not a journalist. And y'all give yourself this title and give yourself this name when you are not, because you literally, all you did was pick up a YouTube channel and you put some bells and whistles on it. You got cameras, you got, equipment, and you made your shit look good. And then as you started going up in the ranks after you went viral for lying on Cardi B, you started getting more attention, more traction, and all your beef and scandals on YouTube with the stories that you were doing. You're just known for being a messy, salacious YouTuber. That's what you are. All right. You're not a journalist, period. Okay. So let's continue.
So, or not even early career, but just early life. So can we hear about Tasha K, the young lady, the child, really?
Yeah, it was really fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, born and raised Panama City, Florida, from the Panhandle. I used to tell people from Panama City. They'd be like, "You from Panama? Panama? You speak Spanish?" I'm like, "Hell no!" Like, I didn't even know where that was on the map.
Okay.
Till I got in the 6th grade.
And what city is that near?
Panama. Okay, Dothan, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So we call it like Lower Alabama, but have you heard of Panama City Beach?
Well, I stayed in Pensacola for a few months before.
2 hours away.
Okay.
Okay. And so, but Panama City is really known. A lot of people forgot about this, but Spring Break, MTV used to host their Spring Break.
Oh my God.
On Panama City Beach. All that Girls Gone Wild all that. That
best.
was all Panama City Beach, Club La Vila, Spinnaker. I wasn't allowed to go. My mama, them, daddy, them didn't play that shit.
Right.
You know, you're not going out there with them damn white people. That shit.
Probably a safe decision on their part.
Oh,
right?
absolutely. They kept me sheltered as much as they could. But, you know, like any family, you know what I'm saying? Not all families, but it does happen. In any family, whether you're black or white, you know, I had an uncle that to me when I was 5.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I laugh about this now because I actually got a platform and I put his ass out.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Because they made a deal. You know, my granddad was like a sheriff in the town. And it was, you know, it was his son. Like, it was you know, you call everybody your uncle that's older than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they just made a deal that he would just go away, you know? And so he came across my Facebook feed and I was like, I know this is not Mo Allen.
Wait,
like,
he tapped in with you?
Like, I guess because he had been watching me. Like, I mean, he knows my name. He knows who I am. Like, Latasha Howard,
right.
Latasha is the same. You know what I'm saying? You never forget a face, especially when you put your face, you know, between my legs and broke behind me. You know, you never forget that. Like, so when I saw and I saw his profile, and I was like, he got kids, he married. So what I did is what I do on my show. Anytime I know something about a husband, I tap the wife first before I go public. So I was like, hey, did you know that your husband was, you know, basically convicted if you look at his record? But the deal was, the punishment is that he would leave the city, but it's on his record, was convicted of me when I was 5.
And his wife didn't know?
His wife did not know, but she knew that day.
And what did she say?
She was like, I can't believe this. This is a lot to take in. I said, well, he did it. And I just want to let you know that I'm about to go public with this. And I went public. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever hear anything about what happened with his relationship?
Didn't even follow up. But the whole city of Austin, Texas know.
Holy
yeah.
Why Austin, Texas, though? You lived there as well?
Was. That's
that's where he was living?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and his kid, I think his kids ended up like tapping me and was like, yo, my dad didn't do this. I said, y'all stay out of grown folk business, okay? Your dad like children.
That's like the ultimate revenge right there.
Yeah, it was great. It felt great because
become successful and then call him out.
Man, listen.
To a large audience.
Yeah, he ended up like shutting down all his social media.
Wow.
Yeah, he went blank, you know, and everything. So
that's insane.
And he still looked the same because he was one of those nerds. This is when, you know, when they had what computer did they have when Apple first came out? It was like the box.
The big it was like pink and clear.
Yeah. And he would game all day and he would work at a hospital as a janitor. And then when he came home, like he would ask me to come in his room and play video games with him. And then when I was in there, like he used to have acne all over his body. Like he was an ugly mother. Like,
you're
so
really
yeah,
painting the picture here.
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, and he would make me. He'd be like, "Hey, you want to play a little game?" You know, and he'd be like, "Yeah, you me, and I'll you." And I'm 5. You don't know, you know, so you do it. So he had me like that had bumps all over it when I was 5. So yeah, if I had saw him though, I probably would have hurt him. So I was, you know, glad that I did enough therapy to where I don't want to hurt him. So yeah.
And then this just stopped at a certain point.
It stopped when I told my aunt, rest her soul. She had asked me what I had did all day, and I was probably like maybe 6. And I was like, you know, colored. I went to my grandma's house, and she said that I said, and you know, Alan licked my tutu, and she said he did what? And I was coloring, and I was like, yeah, Alan licked my tutu, and so that's when she tapped the whole family and was like,
and the family didn't really decide to do anything serious about it.
No, they did it. No, it was my aunt. She got it going. I remember going to court. I remember them having dolls.
It's kind of hot in here, right?
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hot?
Well,
you probably been working all day.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
You've been working and talking all day. And
to the gay crib, yeah.
You got hard ass Starbucks and
you like that? I'm still sipping this from like noon. Okay, but they kind of exiled them out the family at that point?
Yeah, like, I mean, oh yeah. My stepdad, well, I don't like to call him my stepdad, but I do, you know, because I have a real dad. But my stepdad who raised me, he had just married my mom. And a few years earlier, and he literally was in the military, and they had to stop him from coming down to shoot him in the head.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's wild. So, but were you lower class, middle class?
Oh, man, we was broke as what? Like, the only way I got up out of Panama City was because of my family. They was military.
Really?
Other than that, don't leave Panama City. I know people that have never been on a flight from Panama City. That's why they barely have a airport.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to break this down, but I want y'all to hear this next part because I want you to hear how she's literally jumping around with the ages. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this woman did not have this stuff happen to her, but this woman literally is going to go from living in Panama City, being 5 to 6, and then she's going to jump and say that her mom lived in Germany with her dad because they were Army people, Air Force, or whatever, child. But she jumps around so much because she talks so much. She talks so much, and she's one of those people that got a story for everything. And she literally been telling these stories her whole life, but she don't realize what parts she say and when she says what. Because, honey, this story just, I was appalled the way she told the story about the abuse. You literally just said that this man had bumps all over his peen and that he had you sucking peen with bumps all over it. Are you okay? Are you okay? Like this is not how someone talks that has been abused. The way you said this was like you were a grown woman or you were older than 5 or 6. Oh, we gonna get to that hidden gems. We're gonna get to that because I could have swore you said that nobody helped you when you was molested. I could have swore when you told this story before, you said you didn't get no help. Your family didn't help you with this. Your family didn't want to acknowledge it. I thought that's what she said. Didn't she say that? I could have swore they said she didn't get help or they didn't believe her or something like that. I could have swore it was but now you over here telling the story that your grandfather was the sheriff of the town and your auntie stopped the abuse and then they took him to court and the people had you looking at dolls to be able to say, I guess, how the abuse was going down with the dolls by looking and playing with the dolls. And then the deal was that if he left town, I guess it would just go on his record. He's convicted, but he left town? Huh? You said that your mom didn't believe you. That's why you and your mom is not close. Right. Hidden gems. Tasha said her and her mom had a bad relationship because of all this. And she just started. She did. She just started talking back to her mom, her sister. She doesn't like her sister. She's the one that got the baby by Future. She's jealous of her. But let's just listen to this other part because now she's going to say that she moved out of Panama City with the mama. And the mama and the daddy, the stepdad was in the military. But you just said that you was with the grandparents and they had to stop the man from coming down from wherever they was living at to shoot him in the head with a gun. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but it's a little mixed up. It's a little mixed up. Now, I'm not going to call you a liar, but I'm going to just say it's a little mixed up because we all remember this differently. We all remember you saying that your mom and you were not close because of this situation. Okay, so you said this man broke your hymen, right? Okay, so if you listen to the story, she said here that the man broke her hymen. So that means that he took your virginity. Isn't that what that means? Well, catch this tea. Catch this next clip. Okay, in the next couple clips, she's going to say something different. So let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
Did you imagine yourself doing something big with your life when you were a young kid?
No.
Really?
I was really artistic, very nosy, you know. My family always kept some drama going. So, you know, I know who was sleeping with who cheating with who. You know, I'm like 7, 8, 9 years old, you know. I was doing that in school too. But like, yeah, we were very, very, you know, dad's military, mom's a housewife. You know, they went through their fighting. You know, she beating his ass, cheating. He beating her ass, cheating. You know, you see it all. You know,
So it was
as
messy.
A child. It was messy. Absolutely.
But did you always feel like you were maybe meant for something better than this?
No, I didn't think I was gonna live past 25.
Really?
Because I hit a very deep depression when I got into, I want to say high school, right? Because it was kind of like the future staring me in the face, and I didn't have a strong like education coming up. You know, my granddad.
Now catch this shit, okay? She said she was like 7, 8, 9. All the maids, 7, 8, 9. I was like 7, 8, 9, listening to all, you know, all this stuff, hearing about who cheating with who doing this. So you was paying attention to who cheating with who's doing what at 7, 8, 9. You was listening to that, and that made you artistic because you was funny, and that's not artistic. Artistic is, you know, maybe drawing or an artist or something with music or being a gossiper and a busybody and being grown, listening to grown-ups conversations and knowing what the hell is going on in the house is not artistic. Okay. Now she said dad's military, you know, mom's a housewife, he beating her ass, they beating his ass, he beating her ass, they beating her ass. But you didn't live with them, Tasha. You lived with your grandparents. So how did you see mom beating his ass and the dad beating her ass and the mom's a housewife and the dad is in the military when you didn't live with them? You said you was broke and poor and you lived in Panama City with your grandparents. I'm not understanding it. I'm not understanding that. Then she said she didn't think she was going to live past 25 because she went through a depression in high school. But she didn't say that on her show before. She said her depression was literally in her in her adult years, and she went to counseling. She didn't say she was depressed in high school. She said that was during her young adult years. See, Tasha, you done said so much and you done talk so much that you don't even know. Now that you're doing all these little press runs, and I'm listening to Adam, and he literally is like, it's boring to him. He really didn't want even to go here. He's like, oh shit, here goes another abuse story. Who wants to hear that shit? Like, I'm not saying that it's not something that, you know, you might want to say in an interview, but she covered that for a long time. Usually people just, you know, say, yeah, we were, but she really started talking about this and went into it at length. Usually when you talk about your home life and an abuse story during an interview, you don't go like, especially on No Jumper, like you don't go into detail with this. So that tells me that she's still dealing with it, that it's still on her mind, and that this is something that affects her to this day. Because of course, usually when you're abused, I mean, it's something you don't ever forget. But it tells me that she's still angry. She's still angry. So she wanted to tell this story thinking that this was going to make her look like, oh, she's been abused. But really all it is, her story just sounds too outrageous. Right. Looking for sympathy. And this is when it goes wrong because it sounds like a lie. so you looking for sympathy, but people like, girl, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. But let's keep it going.
The one that made the deal, you know, he used to, you know, work with me and stuff like that when I was smaller and I was like straight A student and all that. But like when I went with my mom, you know, school really wasn't important, you know, to her. So, and then of course, you know, I'm coming with a lot of trauma because I lived with my grandparents. And then when I didn't start living with her till I was like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And so it was like getting to know her, you know, even though she was my mom. And, you know, school just wasn't, I always found it more entertaining to talk in class and bust jokes. And
were you popular?
no,
No.
No, I was funny.
Right.
Yeah, but I wasn't popular.
So you were able to kind of, you had your friend group, but you weren't.
Yeah,
the
I
cool girl?
always kept like a handful of friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was always a guy. It was always a gay dyke.
Okay.
And then it was me, and then there was always a fighter in a group. So like it was just 4 reject kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we were very funny, very entertaining. You know, always kind of the life of the party.
Okay, so if you were 7, 8, 9, and you went to live, you said, okay, now follow the story. She said she was 7, 8, 9. She goes to live with her mom when she's 7, 8, 9. But she was in school. Now remember, she said the grandfather was the grandfather was the sheriff. And she said before that she really wasn't good in school, that she wasn't, y'all remember Tasha failed in 9th grade 3 times. Okay. She said this. All right. So she just literally admitted that she didn't do good in school. But then when we just came back and read this clip, listen to this clip, she said that the grandfather used to work with her and she was a straight A student. So if you was a straight A student, how the fuck you failed the 9th grade 3 times, girl? No, it's like you said, school was not important. And that's why your ass failed the 9th grade. But we're going to get more into why she failed, because she's going to tell you what she was doing while she was in school. But she said 7, 8, 9. So 7 or 8, I even go up to 9 years old. So you was in school and he asked you, was you popular? And she said she had a friend group and it was always a dyke, a fighter, and a reject in her. They was the rejects. A dyke, a fighter, and somebody else, she said, in her. 4 reject kids. How was y'all a dyke at 7? You was calling somebody a dyke at 7 or 8? So you knew that the girl you was hanging out with was a dyke? See how she tried to slip that damn her dislike for the LGBTQ community, because she did that in this entire video. She shaded the LGBTQ community. She constantly was telling Adam that he's zesty, or he was gonna eventually be liking men. And then she kept saying about men that like to have sex with other men, and she just always makes a point to let people know that that she's homophobic, basically. So she said, she's got the dyke friend and the friend that can fight. Okay, y'all 7, 8, and 9. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep this lie going.
Right.
Yeah.
And knowing what you now know about social media and everything, does it occur to you like, oh, this would have been perfect for me? Like you would have been a kid making TikToks if that was around at that time?
Yeah. Because I remember I was talking about, my friend was like, do you remember how crazy you used to be in high school? And I thought about it. I said, well, I was in a gym all day. People used to ask me, bitch, do you have gym every period? Like, because I would be in there socializing, just talking, never knowing what it meant. And I would go into the hallway and, while everybody's like, coming out for class, and I'll be like, hey, y'all ready? And so I'm going to do it here. And I'll be like, I'm crazy. And the whole fucking school would just like stop and be like, bitch. And I'll just go and act like I was doing nothing, like going to the locker. You know what I'm saying? But I always found myself like entertaining people just by default, You
just had it in you. Yeah. So when you look at what you ended up doing with your career and everything, it makes
all
sense.
makes sense. It all makes sense. And then my uncles, my aunt, they all crazy like that. People ask me like, well, how can you just say the shit that you say? And I'm like, I was raised like that. My aunt, she would see a little girl. I would bring that little nasty funky tail bitch is not coming in my motherfucking house. Like when she met my husband, she said, don't bring this motherfucker in the house. This people do voodoo and shit. Put some salt by the door. Don't let that nigga come in. This is them. Like, this is my family.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I'm from the East Coast, the Northeast, in New Hampshire, Boston area.
Yeah.
And a lot of times with my girl, because she's a fucking LA chick,
Yeah.
like she's just not used to the level of aggression that I speak with sometimes and how much it's just normal for me to say to one of my friends, hey, you fucking dickhead, what are you doing? Close the door,
Yeah,
like
that's that northern shit.
That's
though.
normal to me to be aggressive in the
yeah.
way I communicate. And I had to kind of learn to be a lot more gentle with my girl,
No way.
No,
So you're
reject
gentle
that?
with her?
Yeah.
But you let other men fuck her?
Well, that was different.
That's not, no.
That's business.
No, business?
Yeah. Well, that's just letting her have a good time,
Okay, I'm like, all right, we got
She knows.
different definitions of gentleness. Who doesn't know?
We can get to all that.
Look, who don't know? I was like, that is, so listen, excuse my friend, that's some cracker shit. Because that shit ain't going down in the nigga community.
Yeah.
In the nigga community, there's a pimp, there's a hoe. We never see it amongst
That is one thing.
Now, as you can tell through this entire video, the N-word. She could not stop saying that N-word. It was cringe to me because I just don't like how I never like when black people feel like they have to say like a gesture, like a court gesture, like you gotta shuck and jive for these white people. Now, Adam, he gives rough around the edges with all these tattoos and shit. He trying to have that whole, Blink 21 look or whatever. But she was referring to him letting his girl, they had that whole thing where she messed with the black guy. I guess it was OnlyFans, or I don't know what it is. I don't know the backstory behind it, but they made a funny about it or whatever. But her constantly saying this N-word, it just really offended me because I'm like, why would you sit here and keep and nigga this, nigga that, nigga community and cracker and nigga that? That's not comedy. For me, you're having an interview. You're on a press run. You're not a comedian. You are saying that you're a journalist and that you are, I get it that Adam is an open book. I get it, but I don't like the N-word, and I don't like, and she's going to say something else that I was really offended by, but I do not like how when black people feel like they have to do, this whole, it's the nigga and not nigger, it's not, we're not talking about a slave. No, that is ignorant. You're supposed to be doing a press run. This is supposed to be professional. You're supposed to be doing an interview, going, to promote. Not one time did she say anything about this fucking show that she's promoting. Okay. She just mentioned it maybe like once in the beginning when he asked her, what do you want a press run? And she said, yeah, for a show that we got coming out in October, blah, 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 blah. But she ain't even really plugged this show. She just was up there shucking and jiving and cooning. She looked a fucking fool, if you ask me. Okay. And yes, you are asking me because you're here, right? But I'm just like, I would have never. And this is why she's not going to go anywhere. She's going literally in circles. And the only reason that she's having the interviews that she is having because she was sued by Cardi B. And people want to know that. They get around to all this shit, but really what they want to know about how the fuck do you feel to be sued by Cardi B and you got to pay this money? And when they hear her talking and telling her side of the story about her childhood, and when they start asking her questions about Cardi B, they also start to learn and get to learn why she's the way she is, why she's so bitter, why she's so ignorant, and why she said the things she said. Because when he's asking her these questions, they're really just pre-programmed questions. This is just a list that he already put together, and this was the format of the interview. He doesn't give a damn about her being molested when she was young. He don't give a fuck about her stopping in the hallway and saying, I'm crazy. He don't care nothing about none of that. At all. At all. He want to get around to what the fuck, how you feel that you owe Cardi B $3.8 million. Because once he gets to that, that's going to be where you really get to see the emotion that is behind all this shit. But Tasha K, in this interview, I got very much, she's still dealing with her childhood. She's still dealing with her family issues. And she thinks that, she's all dressed up and in the industry. That's what she thinks she's in. She thinks she's all dressed up and going to the party and going to the ball. But really, she does not know that she's the joke and laughing stock at the ball, at the party. because nobody takes her serious. They're not taking her serious. They are only interviewing her because it is a hot topic about being sued. Now that the court case is over and, now she's literally having to pay Cardi back, now they can interview her. That's all that is. They probably been wanting to interview her, but they waited until everything was over. And she thought that she was going to go on Joe Budden and that she was going to do that interview and tease Cardi B, but it didn't work like that. It backfired. And now when you watch this, you're going to see if she said that this was a good interview, but she said Joe's is 10 times better. Oh, well, honey, I see why they didn't air it, because this right here was borderline cringe with her using the N-word and sounding like a man and talking like a man and all the stereotypical, words and ebonics and slang and talking all loud and talking all ignorant, just looking like what they think we are. She should have been more articulate. She should have been more classy based. She up there like a nigga, sounding like a goddamn man. That's what she sounded like. Let's get to the next clip, child.
Relationship with, like, kind of like a high school sweetheart, cheated on me with a 30-year-old bitch.
Oh, wow.
Well, he didn't cheat on me. He cheated on her because she had been fucking him since he was 14.
Jeez.
So I was a side bitch and didn't know it.
For all those years.
All those years, I didn't know. But I was wondering, like, how the fuck he's so good in bed?
Shit.
Like when we did eventually. And I should have known that. And, girl.
Was that planned or no? Because if that wasn't planned, I'm probably going to have to play it another way. Let me know if that's playing.
In school, and I think he liked that. And so, and he wasn't the one that took my virginity either. It was somebody else.
Okay.
So, like, him and I were like on and off, and then he was pissed when he found out somebody else took my virginity, right?
So that's why you went to Texas, is to get away from this situation?
Yeah, because I fucked him up that day and I fucked her up. And
oh, really? You were scared of the cops?
No, I was scared. What happened was my aunt, the same one that saved me, right? She was like, if you do not leave Panama City, you gonna wound up just like how these girls are out here. You're gonna be pregnant. You're gonna be sharing your nigga. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be shit. So, my mom was living in Texas. She was stationed on Fort Hood. Okay. So I moved out there with her. And, I got, but wow, there's a lot of military men out there. A lot of fine ones, and you date the E6s and above, you know what I'm saying?
What's that mean?
E6, they make more money.
Oh, okay.
So you got E1, E2, E3. You don't want no privates.
Really?
You want the ones that live off base and not on base,
Because when I was just in Hawaii, I was noticing that dynamic. Everywhere I looked, it's like, look at this big, strong white guy with a couple of shitty tattoos, and he's got like a younger Hawaiian woman under his arm. I'm like, okay, I see how this game plays out out here.
Yeah, so it's like, it's different ranks and stuff. And so people that know the military, especially know Fort Hood and stuff like that, or any military base, when you're dating, you don't want to date the E1, E2, E3. There's base pay. E5, E6 on up, E7, E8. Yeah, they the ones got the degrees. They salaries is pretty high up there. So
that's cool that it's so simplified. Because when we're looking at girls, we got to kind of figure out what rank we want to give them.
Yeah, but my dudes have always been nice looking. Like, you see my husband, he fine as fuck. So I don't date no ugly niggas.
Okay.
So yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that you brought him along with you.
Well, no, I don't go nowhere without him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he don't play that shit.
That's your safety blanket?
No, that's my best friend. We've been married 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
And you're how old? Are you going to tell me?
I am 41.
41. Okay, so in your early 20s. Nice. Okay, so you move out there, you're hooking up all these military guys. What else are you doing with your life?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I'm outside.
Where in Texas?
Fort Hood, Killeen.
Oh, right.
Killeen. And so, but I had a lot of marriage proposals.
Really? They were feeling you?
Because, no. In the military, if you get married, they give you more money.
Oh, okay.
So anytime.
So they don't have to like you.
No.
So somebody will want to marry you and you don't really feel that great about it.
Exactly. I get more money and they try to get you pregnant. They get more money. They get more benefits and stuff. And so,
That's kind of scandalous. It's really weird incentives.
Yeah, but a lot of girls went out there. They wanted to get married. They got married, though.
Right.
Yeah, but I never wanted to live that military life, and I never could marry somebody in the military because they travel too much for me, and So yeah, I didn't like that because I traveled so much when I was a kid with my mom and being stationed in Germany, dad stationed in Germany.
Oh, so
Holland.
you stayed in a bunch of random places like that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a weirdly common thread when I'm interviewing people that go on to be successful, that a lot of them have a military parent thing and they were in a bunch of weird countries throughout their life. So they kind of got to see the world and figure out what was really going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I never lost sight
I
of
gotta
where the fuck
stop
I
it right
came
there.
from.
right.
I gotta stop it right there.
I'm a
I
country
can't
bitch at
take
the
it
end of the
any
day.
longer.
So
I
how long did
have
that
to stop
phase
it.
of your
I
life
gotta
last?
stop
Or
it right
did
there.
it just last until you met your husband?
Hold on.
It lasted for a while because
I
I
have
was
to stop it right
heartbroken.
there, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? And it was.
Did
kinda
you
like,
hear what she just
then
said?
I ended up getting in another relationship. You know,
Did you catch the
you know, in your early
lies?
20s, you're supposed to fuck around. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm
Right.
settled down. You know
Now,
what I'm saying? But he
she
didn't see
said
it that
she
way.
moved
Tried to
with
kill
her
my ass when he
mom
found out how many people I was fucking with.
Really?
But yeah, he was
after
Nigerian
high
too. He
school.
was crazy. He was real crazy.
And he was a military guy?
No, he
But
wasn't.
she
He was
literally just said
Nigerian
in the
and very
previous
smart.
clip
Went to an
that
Ivy
she
League
moved
school
with her
and shit.
mom
Like he
when she was 7
yeah,
and
as a
8.
Fortune 500 company right now.
And
It's
she
crazy.
had to learn
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
get
yeah.
You
to
ever think about
learn
exposing him?
to know who
No.
her mom was.
I mean, I
'cause
could.
She came
Him
there
beating
with a
on you
lot
is not
of
enough
trauma.
to rise to that occasion.
She
He was
literally
young.
just
I was
said
young.
this
You know
in
what I'm
the
saying?
and
And sometimes
now
I probably
she
deserve them
say-
ass whoopings because I mean the shit that I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was still playing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working two different goddamn things. Let me do this again. Hold on.
It's base pay. E5, E6.
Okay, it's not playing now. All right, is it playing now? It's quiet now? Okay. Sorry, y'all. My whole thing is first she said that she was with the mama when she was 7 or 8. Remember she said that? She said she was with the mama when it was 7 or 8. She lived with the grandparents in Panama City. And she went to stay with her mom when she was 7 or 8, and she had to get to know her mom and all that. School wasn't a priority for her mom. You know, she was with the grandpop, though, at first, you know, over there where she got molested in Florida and everything. The grandpop used to work with her with school. Then when she went to the mama, school wasn't important. She went over there when she was 7 or 8. And now she literally just said she moved with the mama when she was out of high school. Then he just asked her, then she said that she was in the military with the mama and them in Germany. That they were stationed in Germany. She said she couldn't date she didn't want to date a military man because they moved too much for her because she was used to doing that when she was younger because they moved around a lot. And then he said, oh, you mean when you, he even had to catch it. He even caught the lie. Like, oh, well, I thought you just said that you lived in Panama City. Now you saying you was in Germany. Girl, you cannot keep up. You can't even keep up with your own shit. I said, this girl is literally lying right in front of our eyes, making this shit up as she go along. Happy birthday, Dion. I said, she ain't making this shit up as she goes along.
On up, E78. Yeah, they the ones got the degrees. They salaries is pretty high up there. So
That's cool that it's so
I was juggling a couple of them.
simplified. Because when we're looking at girls, we got to kind of figure out what rank we want to give them.
Yeah, but
they
my
do
all
it
my
for
dudes
you.
have always been nice looking. Like you see my husband, he fine as fuck. So I don't date no ugly niggas.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I like that you brought him along with you.
Well, no, he I don't go nowhere without him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he don't play that shit.
That's your safety blanket?
No, that's my best friend. We've been married 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
And you're how old? Are you going to tell
I
me?
am 41.
41. Okay, so in your early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so you move out there, you're hooking up all these military guys. What else are you doing with your life?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I'm outside.
Where in Texas?
Fort Hood, Killeen.
Oh, right.
Killeen. And so, but I had a lot of marriage proposals.
Really? They were feeling you?
Because, no, in the military, if you get married, they give you more money.
Oh, okay.
So anytime.
So they don't have to like you.
No.
So somebody will want to marry you and you don't really feel that great about it.
Exactly. I get more money and they try to get you pregnant. They get more money. They get more benefits and stuff. And so,
That's kind of scandalous. It's really weird incentives.
Yeah, but a lot of girls went out there. They wanted to get married. They got married, though.
Right.
Yeah, but I never wanted to live that military life, and I never could marry somebody in the military because they travel too much for me, you know? And so, I didn't like that because I traveled so much when I was a kid with my mom and being stationed in Germany. Dad stationed in Germany.
So
Holland.
you stayed in a bunch of random places like that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a weirdly common thread when I'm interviewing people that go on to be successful, that a lot of them have a military parent thing and they were in a bunch of weird countries throughout their life. So they kind of got to see the world and figure out what was really going on.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
but I never lost sight of where the fuck I came from.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm a country bitch at the end of the day.
So how long did that phase of your life last? Or did it just last until you met your husband?
It lasts for a while.
So she said she never lost sight of where she came from because they traveled and they were all over the place. They was in Germany and all, but she never lost sight where she came from because she's a country bitch at the end of the day. I thought you said you grew up in Panama City and y'all was broke and your mom and daddy was fighting all the time. I don't understand. Tasha, you need to go lay on somebody's couch and you literally need to pull it in. If you want to be anything and you want to make anything out of this little itty bitty career that you have left, you need to go sit down somewhere and figure out what your story is going to be because you literally all over the goddamn place. If I noticed it and I could break it down, I know good and goddamn well this was excruciating for Adam to do this goddamn interview. It was full of lies, full of all these twists and turns. You was literally taking him all around the world, the same song. I mean, and then he literally played along with it. Yeah, all these people, military. All people that go to all these different countries and they live in a different, and they get to see the world. You said you never been outside of Panama City, Florida. You literally had never been nowhere. That's what you said. Now you've been to Germany? You literally said at the beginning of the interview that you had never been nowhere. And you know people to this day that ain't never been outside of Panama City. And now you said that you was in Germany? Girl, it's the lies for me. And not Sheck is fine. Fine as fuck, she said. Child, she said that little African man is fine as fuck. Ain't nothing fine and as fuck about Sheck. She literally said that man is fine as fuck. Where? And I looked at this outfit and I said, I know she ain't got them little gold shoes on. I know them ain't them gold roach slippers. I know they ain't the roach stompers. I said, no, she didn't. But I said, no, they look like some little white shoes. I said, Tasha K. Girl, you literally all over the place on this interview. It is so unprofessional. It's given you just literally just up here just making up some shit. It's actually a boring interview. It is not even compelling. It doesn't give anything. It's like a YouTube video. It's not even, it has no tea in it, no real aha moments, no inspiration, no wow, nothing. It's like, oh yeah, this is Tasha K. We heard all this shit, and half of it is a lie.
Because I was heartbroken, you know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like, then I ended up getting in another relationship. You know, you know, you're in early 20s, you're supposed to fuck around. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm settled down, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't see it that way. Tried to kill my ass when he found out how many people I was fucking with.
Really?
But yeah, he was Nigerian too. He was crazy. He was real crazy.
And he was a military guy?
No, he wasn't. He was just Nigerian and very smart. Went to an Ivy League school and shit. Like he has a Fortune 500 company right now. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever think about exposing him?
No. I mean, I could.
Him beating on you is not enough to rise to that occasion?
He was young. I was young. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I probably deserve the ass whoopings because I mean the shit that I did. I like that because, like, you know, my car would break down. He would just go buy another car. You know, his parents had money and stuff like. Okay. So he, you know, it was kind of like he had never been in love before, and I just because of what I went through, I was just like, I'll never trust a motherfucker again. You know, right. Till I met my husband, he changed that.
And how'd you meet him?
Cheesecake Factory. Really? I was a server.
Wow.
And he was a bartender, and you know they always try to figure out who gonna fuck the new girl first, and he got me first.
He did.
And married me.
And locked it in so much that you wanted to marry him.
He
wow,
did.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was so funny because it would be other guys. For some reason, foreign guys are so attracted to me. It's weird. Like they could be Jamaicans, Haitians. And I'm attracted to them too. I do consider myself a passport sis. So,
so if you hadn't found him, you might have moved off to a different country and sort
probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Sidebar: do you respect the passport bros?
No, absolutely. They the reject niggas of the world.
So for the people who have made it to this point and don't know, it's basically an ideology pushed by a bunch of dudes who are kind of like an.
There she go with that N-word again. The reject niggas. The reject niggas. She's killing me with this N-word. Girl. Do you know how uneducated you sound right now? Do you know how slow you sound right now? You know how ghetto you sound right now? Do you know the world is watching you and this is what you give? You have an opportunity to go on No Jumper where there's over 4 million people watching you. And this is the side that you want them to see. This is what you decided to give. If your ass was going to lie, at least you should have lied about who you was. This way. I would not have gave this type of attitude or personality. I would have gave classy, honey. I would have been bougie. If I was going to lie, I would have been bougie. You wanted to be ghetto, then you wanted to be, you know, a hoe. But the undertones, everything, if you notice, the whole undertone with her is promiscuity. Catch it. Everything with this woman is all about sex with her life. When she was describing her abuse, she said that this man had bumps all over his peen and had her sucking his peen. She talked about that like it wasn't even nothing. And then now she just literally says she was promiscuous when she went from high school because she was buck wild in Florida. So her family sent her to her mom where she went and got buck wild on the Air Force Base. And then when she went and met Shaq at the restaurant, Cheesecake Factory, she was buck wild there and they wanted to see who was going to mess with her first. Child. That's why her aunt called her funky tail. That's black funky tail. That's why she called you a funky tail. But you literally want to talk about Cardi B? Girl, you was just hot and funky tail for no reason. Just hopping around. Maybe that is your obsession with STDs. You must have had a multitude of them damn things hopping around as much as you was hopping around. It's giving pH balance, off, bacterial infections, yeast infections every other week. Girl, the way you was in funky tail was hopping around. Oh, funky tail.
Offspring of the men's rights movement, where
they're rejects.
Right.
They got a bunch of child support, baby mama problems and shit.
The idea is that American women are so toxic and so irredeemable that you need to go to Thailand and find yourself a little hottie out there, wife her up, and that way you'll be able to avoid, a woman who's been brainwashed by feminism.
Yeah, till she come over here to the United States and then somebody hook her up, hip her to who the fuck you are. And they're like, wait a minute, you wasn't shit when you came to get me.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't, girl.
I mean, I do understand where these guys are coming from, but it also is like the most pathetic thing you could possibly imagine.
My thing is, for the black man, y'all flying all the way past the Caribbean, over Africa to Thailand to go get a bitch. And there's plenty of black women in Africa who are very submissive to black men. And they don't mind being second, third, and fifth wives and shit like that. Black women have never minded that. It's just the respect. And a lot of black men out here are asking for respect that they haven't fucking earned. Get your shit together, then go get your bitch.
Right.
A lot of y'all want the bitches to get your shit for you. No.
Wow. But don't you think that being a passport bro is kind of an expression of their rejection of black women in general?
There's one thing to be raised as a black American woman here, but then to skip over an entire continent who raises women to be submissive to black men.
Okay.
Now, she gonna let this white man, she gonna sit here with this white man and talk about black women being submissive to men. Okay? I'm sorry, y'all. She gonna sit here and let this white man talk to her about how black women should be submissive and what the passport bros, their philosophy that they don't want to date black women because he goes into that too. That what he gets from most black men that don't date black women is that because we're mean and that, we're loud. And you actually sit here and have a conversation with that, and say that black women never minded being second, third, fourth, fifth wives, and that they literally skip over whole countries where black women are being raised to be submissive to black men. What is wrong with you, ma'am? Ma'am, what is wrong with you? Since when did black women not mind being second, third, fourth, or fifth wives? Ma'am, you literally are not submissive to took the words right out of my mouth. You're not even submissive to your own husband, because I'm pretty sure, like you said in this interview, that he told your ass to stop with the YouTube. He told you that you were done with YouTube at one point, and you snuck and did it anyway and said no. And talking about, but when he saw that check, get this bitch some cameras, get her whatever she wants. So you literally are not submissive, but you want to talk about how African women are submissive. Black women never minded. All we care about is respect. Then you go and say, black men, they need to get their shit together because they want the bitch to do things for them. They don't want to go and get themselves together so they can do for the bitch. Get yourself together and then go get you a bitch. Excuse me, but you can call yourself a bitch, ma'am. I'm a queen, okay? I'm a woman. I'm a lady. I'm not a bitch. Girl, you're in your 40s or late 30s or whatever you are. What is Tasha K? 38, 39? And you still talking like that? Calling yourself a bitch? A bitch? It's giving weird. It's giving weird.
It's energy.
I really go for that simulation theory shit.
Yeah.
Whenever I get stressed out about life, I'm like, whatever, this is all fake anyway.
Yeah. No, it's energy. It's all energy. Everything, stars, moon, sun, it's all energy. It's energy, and energy creates everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's all energy. Energy creates everything. So she want to talk about, because Adam is an atheist. He doesn't believe in, creation. Where he said he can go ahead for the simulation thing. He thinks we're all one big part of a simulation. So Tasha's trying to explain to him what it is. What life is all about. Energy. Everything's energy. The sun, moon, stars. It's energy. No, energy. Energy. I said, this girl is so fucking dumb. Energy. No, it's all. And she was dead ass serious. No, it's energy. Energy. Exactly, honey. She said, as an African, we don't want to be a fourth wife. Kim said she is nobody's bitch and she comes second to none. Like, girl. Tasha K was all over in this video. I mean, she was everywhere. Literally.
Man, they had a network of bitches that sold pussy.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, no.
When I heard that, I'm like, oh, they're doing ecstasy with these girls and raping them. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were just doing ecstasy with them.
I saw text messages I'll never forget. T.I. hit my channel for that.
Viral for you that like blew up your channel? Any particular content arcs that you found that you were totally indispensable?
Oh man, it was probably T.I. and Tiny.
Oh, their accusations.
All that shit. I helped clear up a lot of that shit though.
Really?
Because, especially when people were saying that they was raping bitches and shit.
So did you come out?
Man, they had a network of bitches that sold pussy.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, no.
When I heard that, I'm like, oh, they're doing ecstasy with these girls and raping them. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were just doing ecstasy with them.
I saw text messages I'll never forget. T.I. hit my channel for that.
I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm working two different devices. So when he asked her, was there any part of her career that, which made her go viral? You notice that she purposely didn't say Cardi B. She said T.I. and Tiny. We all know that it was Cardi B. We all know that Star Marie, the interview with Star Marie and Cardi B, all the narratives, the lies, that's when your ass went viral, not T.I. and Tiny. Okay? Because Cardi B was first. That all came first. I think the T.I. and Tiny situation was after Cardi B. Okay? So now we have broken down the lies. All right. We listened to the lies that she said in this interview. But now we're going to break down the part of the interview where she talked about, and also R. Kelly. We're going to talk about this part when she talked about Cardi B. Okay? And I want you to pay attention to the anger and the envy that this woman harbors for Cardi B. It is sad. She wears this shit and she needs to get over it. Pay the woman her money and move the fuck on with your life because you did it to your goddamn self. I want you to pay attention to how stupid she sounds when giving her explanation as to why and how it went about, her lawyers, Cardi's team, all the shit she say about Atlantic. Just peep Tasha K shit on here. Peep this shit.
Honest when you ended, were you astonished?
You know, but buying $16-20 million houses. Well, it was at a point where Future was having a baby every 3 months. It was it was like Nick Cannon. Then Nick Cannon came out. Like,
but do you respect Nick Cannon choosing to live his life that way?
Yeah, because he's honest.
He's up.
And there are women out here that are just waiting to be number one, number two, number three. But you know, it's the caliber of woman too. Because these women that he's having, like, you know, I wouldn't be a baby mama.
Right.
You know.
And Akon and Nick Cannon that we all just ran there, and I'm just like,
neglect, love something. I forgot. Don't give me the long kid. I was like, that's been on social media. She been dragging his ass.
Really?
He done forgot the black baby mama baby name. Been on social media. She been dragging his ass.
Their name.
Just fucking the black one should have been the first.
Right.
You know. So
okay. Let me ask you this: did you have a grudge against Cardi originally, or did that kind of emerge over time through you doing the content?
No. I just didn't like her over time. You know, there was a lot of shit happening behind the scenes.
Really? Yeah,
like, you know, she claimed she was blood. I think a hat or some shit. You ever heard of a hat? Yeah, like this. I don't know what the fuck blood. I'm not into the gang lifestyle, but it was weird being a commentator and her gang member friends would reach out to me to do for me to do stories on the shit that they went through, like especially during when she had ordered that hit on them bartenders against Offset, right? And the girls that was with her called me to say, I want to tell my side. I'm like, you sure you're a gang member? Does Cardi know you talking to me?
Right.
And they would figure it out. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but it's too late. They already told me everything, you know? But no, I mean, Cardi, okay. I talk about Cardi the same way I talk about anybody. You see my content. I do not hold back for anybody, but for some reason, like, she took it very personal. And I get it. I mean, Offset moves, you know?
A little sloppy.
Yes.
At times over the years, yeah. Not saying currently, but
Nah. Like I just had one the other day. It was a white girl. He had, you know, she claimed they had been messing around even before Cardi's. You know, she had pictures of the house getting a sex tape from him. He had somebody bouncing on his dick. Like I was just like, this nigga just don't care.
Right.
But it's content. I'm a broadcaster, you know, so I'm gonna put it out there. You're one of the hottest hip hop artists out there now, and your husband out here moving real reckless. You know, it was just natural, the same way I do everybody. But you know, she didn't like an interview that I did with a former stripper friend of hers who said a lot of things that she did and they did together, right? And she had made some allegations. But social media had already been making them allegations, you know, about her sexual health and all that shit, you know. And that interview did 5 million views because she responded.
Oh wow.
You know, like, and then it kept doing views because she kept responding because, you know, it was a lot of shit that was going viral at the time.
Now that's a lie. The video did not do 5 million views. Because Cardi responded, the video did not do 5 million views. The video never reached 5 million views. The video was at 3.4 million views when they went to court. Okay. That video, by the time they took that video down, it was at 3.8 million or something like that. That video never reached 5 million views. So that's a bold-faced lie. So because you're on No Jumper and he's got 4-point-something million subscribers and he gets a lot of views, now you want to pump yourself up to say that video was a 5 million view. No, it was not 5 million views, honey. In the court documents, it say 3.4 million, 3.8 million. It don't say shit about 5 million. Stop, ma'am.
Time. And so she, you know, real rudely asked me to take it down. I'm like, take what down? Take the interview down. That shit ain't true. I'm like, you want to address it? No, I don't want to address it. Then she goes live to address it. Bitch, I'm running my story.
Right.
Yeah. So, and I did just that. And I said, if you want it down, bitch, a judge got to take me down, tell me to take it down. And he did.
Right.
I took it down.
But so the logic is usually that as a commentator, you don't really have that much to worry about because it's extremely hard to sue somebody who's part of the media in America. And it turns out
I didn't really
it's
know
not impossible.
anything about lawsuits then. I had never been to court for anything in my life except for a traffic ticket. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when she started saying she was going to sue, I was like, bitch, I don't care. I wipe my fucking ass with cease and desist. Who gives a fuck? You know, you going to spend your money on this? Go ahead. So when she filed the lawsuit, I was like, well, if it mean that much, because I was pregnant at the time when she filed the lawsuit, and I was high risk. So I was like, well, if it really mean that much, I'll take it down. But then she was like, take it down and apologize. I said, apologize for what? You need to apologize. I'm not apologizing for a motherfucking thing. I'll take this interview down, but I'm not apologizing. So, you know, I had, you know, told my husband what I had talked about, you know, with her lawyers. And he was like, put that shit back up and tell her to go sue. And she did just that. And she put a...
That's another lie. That's not why you wanted her to come and do an interview. And that's not the first time your ass went to court or was in trouble, girl. You got a mugshot of you looking like a bull dagger. Maybe you was the dyke in the group because, honey, that's what you look like in that goddamn mugshot. So you literally want to tell us that you don't have no experience in court. That was the first time you ever had a lawyer. Well, maybe that was the first time she ever hired a lawyer because maybe she had public defenders all her life. But I thought you said that your attorneys were bright young talent. They never lost a case. You was going to win the lawsuit. But see, right here, she is admitting you was pregnant back when you was trolling Cardi B. But you wasn't pregnant during that lawsuit. You had already had that baby by the time y'all was in court. You was pregnant when you was trolling Cardi and when you was going through the mess online. But you was not pregnant during the case. So anything, and then you said that Cardi was saying she was part of a hat gang. I never heard Cardi state what kind of gang it was. I think she said Bloods. I never heard her say, I could be wrong, but that sounds like when Nicki say the Mac gang or M-A-K, that Mac. So you trying to say Cardi said she was part of the hat gang. That sounds like you trying to throw shade. Cardi, I don't think she said what gang she was a part of. That sound like Nicki with the Mac gang. That's what that sound like to me. But you sound like a fool. Right. Brim. So you saying hat, you thinking of Nicki Minaj. That's what you thinking of. That's what your ass was thinking of. You was thinking of Yo Queen. Yo Queen. The one that you do all this for. That's what your ass was thinking of. But then you said you wiped your ass with cease and desist. And then I will give it to her. She is telling the truth when she said she didn't know. She didn't know. Like, she didn't think that it was going to go down like that. Because like Adam said, literally it's usually hard to sue somebody for defamation, and actually get it to stick in court. But see, Tasha had did so much. She literally had dug her own hole and sealed her own fate because of her interviews and her videos, and especially when she would go live and be dragging Cardi and talking a bunch of shit. She gonna get into that next. Watch this.
She put $1.2 million
right
towards that lawsuit.
Right.
All because she didn't like me, because I didn't like her.
And why do you think that you were ultimately not victorious in court?
Man, it was, first of all, I wasn't paying attention to my case. I hired lawyers that were fresh out of college.
I heard your legal team was not great.
No. And when if you've never dealt with lawyers before, that was the first time I ever hired a lawyer for anything, right? Because I fucking 35, 36 years old. What the fuck? I don't break the law.
Your first time is always tough.
Yeah. It's kind of like you.
Oh,
so I didn't know. Like it was kind of like, they said, and they were the cheapest too, because people wanted it. They heard Cardi B. Damn, they wanted them retainers 50, 60,000. I was like, where the fuck I'm supposed to get that shit from?
Right, which is like nothing compared to how much she ended up spending.
Man, listen, because she had a team.
Yeah.
She had 2 teams. She had a team in New York and a team in Georgia. So, and this Cardi B coming, she got an endless amount of money. They billing.
Right.
They billing. That shit, if you see the records that they got they got every tweet, every fucking comment.
So I thought you said, number one, now you hear her. She just said that Cardi B. Cardi B coming. Oh, she got an endless bag of money, an endless supply of money. But I thought you said Cardi is broke. I thought you said Cardi is not, she ain't nobody. But the way you sound like a fan. You sound like you actually envy Cardi B. You know who the fuck Cardi is. You know who the fuck Cardi is. And you sound like you know who the fuck Cardi is. That's why you did all of this, because you know who the fuck Cardi is. You sound like a fan and you look stupid because you should have never been sued by Cardi B. You should have left her alone, took the videos down and moved on about your business. But you wanted this woman to do an interview with you because you thought you was going to blackmail her. That's what you thought you was going to do. Extort her, try to shake her down for some goddamn money. And have her on your show. All from lies you done made up and shit you done hyped up and sensationalized. Some old ass shit from her past, dragging shit and adding lies, you and Star Marie, and you thought that shit was gonna blow your channel up. But all it did was have you right where you're at right now, $3.8 million in debt. Now she's admitting that she didn't have $50,000 to pay for a lawyer. Well, I thought you said the $75K was a little punk $75,000 when you thought it was $75K that you was going to have to pay Cardi. I thought you said you spent $1 million on your attorneys and all of this. Now we find out. Watch how much she said she gonna pay. She paid for her lawyers $5,000. Now she's telling the truth, but she told us all these astronomical numbers. Now she's going to say that she paid $5,000 on retainers for her attorneys. So that tells me that the bill that you turned into the court, that was a lie, because you just sat here and said you paid them $5,000. I thought you said it was $100,000 or it was to the tune of $100,000. I thought that's what you turned in to the court and said that's how much your legal fees were. When you were trying to get that from Cardi and you were trying to get them to pay your legal fees with your counterclaim, now it's $5,000? That's it?
Comment that somebody made to the tweet. I said, ooh, when I saw the end result of how much she paid, I said, they the only ones that really won.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, my lawyer's $5,000 retainer.
Really?
Yeah.
5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Showed up and I introduced them. I said, this is my legal team, bitch, we about to fight.
Were you astonished when you ended up losing?
I was surprised because I was just like, but I really wasn't surprised because the judge had already kept out a lot of stuff because everything that I commented on came out of her mouth. It wasn't like, malicious. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make this shit up about you. You see what I'm saying? I didn't just say, oh, I'm gonna do this. But they found, they played a video. It was after we was like 3 years into litigation where I just snapped on her because she had, these so-called YouTube investigators coming to my house, going to my daughter's school, asking questions about me, these just random ass people, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm, just had my baby and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And I went in and I was like, bitch, that's why your husband, I said, you can go get your body done out as many times as you want. It still don't keep your husband at the house. He is outside. You too busy over here watching me and you need to be watching him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went the fuck in. I dragged everything. I was like, you can have as much plastic surgery as you want. He don't want it. He don't want it. And that's what you're mad about. You're mad about that I won't stop reporting on him and his escapades And you are a fucking celebrity. And frankly, the things that you say about people, especially black women, calling black women roaches, monkeys, that's why your baby died, wishing A's on people, shit like that. I was like, you're a very disrespectful young lady. And I'm a grown-ass woman. And I don't give a fuck if you're the president of the United States. You're not going to disrespect me like that. So you can spend as much money as you want, but you will never get my respect for that shit. Ever. Now, I'm a practical person. You want to have a conversation and we can both issue some apologies, we can do that. But as far as I'm concerned, you don't just tell me to fucking bow down to you. Like, who the fuck are you? Bitch, you shit and piss just like me. And you shit on live. On live. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, no, like, I think the fame and the power and the money and stuff, like, got to her head, but I'm a country bitch from the South, and I've been broke my whole life. Mm-hmm. You know? It took me 20 years to pay my student loans off. Probably gonna take me 60 to pay her.
Right. So do you have any regrets about how you handled it? Because you always see these headlines now.
No.
It's like Tasha K
But she
trying
did
to
all
pay.
that. But she paid for all that.
Okay. So
Like,
when you are saying I'll pay you X amount per month or whatever, that's
That's all I got. I mean,
Right.
she got to get what I got. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm not worried about none of that. Headlines is the least of my motherfucking worries. Like, thanks for the free press. You know how much it costs for a fucking publicist?
not really.
Right. They start at $5,000 a month. That's
Right.
base price. But for the headlines that she got, the internet, they writing about me in fucking Portuguese.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people that come over, they're like, we hear so much about you. Who's this Tasha K person? They get over there.
Now, I got to stop it right here. And then we'll play it all out and we'll be done. You can just hear the vitriol in her voice. She's very pressed about Cardi B. She does not like Cardi, and she is very emotional. She still is charged up about this whole thing. And I would be too if I owe somebody $4 million. But this is your fault, and you need to just get over it. You need to accept it and get over it. You did this. And on this interview, when this is supposed to be about you, this is still about Cardi B. Because at the end of the day, you're on a press run because of Cardi B. Nobody would give a fuck who you are, and nobody would care about your YouTube channel if it wasn't for Cardi B. You are on the biggest stage of your life right now because you've never been on a platform this large, and you're talking about Cardi B. You're supposed to be talking about your show, promoting your channel. I have not heard you say one thing about your channel, your platform, what kind of programs y'all use, how y'all built y'all shit, your studio, your employees, your company, your children, your life. None of that. All I heard your ass talk about was fucking, what niggas you done fucked, calling everybody niggas and bitches, and Shaq is fine. And that's all I heard. All I heard is the things that you say about Cardi B and say what she is and everybody else is whores and all this. That's all I heard you talk about. Your life from the time you was a child was surrounded by sex. That is all I heard from this interview. That you have been a victim of sex your whole life. And you are angry. You are angry and you are bitter because you ain't never had shit and nobody ever gave a fuck about you. And when you look at Cardi B and you see where she came from, it reminds her of yourself. And you say, why the fuck not me? Why can't I rise from the ashes? Why didn't I rise from the ghetto? If she did it, how come I can't do it? You don't have the attitude, nor do you have the posture for it. You might be talented on the YouTube, and you might be able to make people laugh on the YouTube, but you're not industry. You don't have it. You're too bitter. You need to go get some help and get yourself together first. You're not ready. All you will ever be, and what do I keep telling y'all about Tasha K? All you will ever be is that woman that got sued by Cardi B. That is all you will ever be. Until you make peace with what you did and until you accept what you did, you're just going to go in circles. Listen, let me tell you something. People say, well, Sweet Pea, you're on YouTube. You trying to be like Tasha K. You want to show. Let me tell you this, honey. If I ever wanted this more than I want a career or a job or, my kids or my family, I could have it. I have the equipment. I have the programs. I run the same program that she run. I run VMix. I have production lights. I have all that shit. Mics, cameras, all of it. I even do documentaries. I can do full-time YouTube if I wanted to, but that's not where I'm at. I have a family. I have bills to pay. I don't have time to sit down and I'm not going to do the dirt and go cut people's throat just to get views. That's what it takes nowadays. You got to step on the backs of other people. You got to pull people down on this YouTube. You got to deal with drama, docs, and all that. I don't want it that bad. My dear, you want it that bad. But you know what? You cut your nose off to spite your face because you know why? This is industry. And when you say, well, I don't want to sell out because I want to still be able to have my voice, you kill me with that because you want the industry. You want their money. You want the prestige. You want to be on the platforms, but then you don't want to play ball. See, that's why you'll never make it. Because you don't know how to have relationships. If you don't have no relationships in this game, you ain't going nowhere, baby. You better learn that shit. You better learn who's in charge. You better learn who the players are. You need to go get you some counseling. You need to go get you some healing. And then come back. You need to go step down, take a break, and go get you some help. Because you are bitter and jealous of Cardi B. You are jealous of her career. You are jealous of her family. You are jealous of everything that she represents. Everything. And when I look at you, all I see is a YouTuber that has some thunder on YouTube, but got sued by Cardi B, and now people want to interview you. And that's all it will ever be. That's all it will ever be because you cannot polish yourself. You could take the girl out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the girl. And you need to be able to take that hood up out you if you want to be in the industry because you know you do. Just like you said earlier in the interview that if the radio show was to call you now, that you would not cuss, that you would read what they say read because you want a deal. Don't ever think that Tasha K don't want a deal. She wants a deal. She want to be what you see TS doing, what you see Funky Dineva, Claudia Jordan, what you see everybody doing on Fox Soul, Jason Lee, what you see everybody else doing, the Joe Buddens, everybody. Carisha, honey, trust me, Tasha K wishes she was there as well. But she'll never be because she fucked around and got sued by Cardi B. Cardi B is connected. She's in the industry. And ma'am, I'm sorry, but that's the game. You should have patched that up when you had the opportunity. Now, what Cardi say, when you beefing with me, we beefing forever. Forever. You should have got that shit handled when she gave you the opportunity to get it handled. And now you're trying to make a career out of something that is already fucked up. You already fumbled your bag. It is over. You're not coming back for this. You're too hot. Nobody's going to touch you. Nobody's going to do a deal with you. You're a liability. And all your money is going to Cardi B. And you lie and say that she sued you because you don't like her and she don't like you. No, that is not why she sued you. She sued you because you lied on her. And you said that everything that you said is stuff that she already said. You just repeated what she said. Ma'am, if that was true, then you would have not got found liable in court. They would have threw it out, or it wouldn't even have made it as far as it made it. You got found liable because you are guilty. You did it. And like you just said, they had every clip, every tweet, every comment because she had teams. She was determined to fry your ass because she told you to stop playing in her face. And you think that you have the right to go out here and slam her husband, her family, her kids because she's Cardi B, because she's a celebrity? You better repeat that and say that shit. She's a celebrity. She sure is, bitch. Yes, the fuck she is a celebrity. And you better recognize that shit. Put some respect on her name. You are jealous, you are envious, and that's why you're not going to go anywhere until you handle that, until you admit that you are jealous and envious. Barty Gang sent every goddamn receipt, every clip, every video, and they still sending it. Until your ass is done paid Cardi B and you're out of the courts, everything you do, they sending it to Cardi B and her team. You cannot hide out here on these streets. I listened to this interview and I was appalled. I said, this woman lied from beginning to end, and people ain't even catch that shit. Oh, she humanized herself. No, the fuck she didn't. She lied on herself. She lied on herself, her family. First, she was in Panama, then Panama City, Florida. Then she went over to Texas. Then she was over in Germany. Then she went, come on now. Come on now. Lying in this man's face, and he knew you was lying, making it up as you go along.
I can love you. Like you're amazing.
Do you feel like she kind of blew you up? Because a lot of people, when I said I'm interviewing this woman Tasha K today, people would be like, "Oh, I don't know her," and it'll be like, "Oh, wait, the one with the Cardi B thing." I'm like, "Yes."
Now you see. You see that? He sat there and admitted, nobody knows you, girl. Nobody knows you. They only know you from Cardi B. And I said that. Adam ain't have to say that. But he threw that in right at the end to let you know you only up here because of Cardi B. People only know you because of Cardi B. Ma'am, don't nobody know anything about that YouTube channel. I tried to tell people that. But they think you just this big time celebrity. I had to tell a wino that one time. Nobody knows. Everybody don't know Tasha K. I'm sorry. Tasha K is in the black community on YouTube, and a lot of people that is in mainstream still don't know her. Even black people. Tasha K is on YouTube. People don't know her. She's famous because of Cardi B. That's it. She's forever tied to Cardi B because of that lawsuit. The only reason people know her name is because she got sued. So now, this interview, of course, it's the talk of YouTube. Everyone's talking about it because apparently she was supposed to do an interview, or she did an interview, should I say, and it was supposed to be released, and it was an interview with her and Joe Budden. And so from what I hear, Joe Budden did not, at the last minute, decided not to put it out. Well, even in this No Jumper interview, I heard her even throw shade at Joe Budden and his crew over there to his show, saying that they are not prepared. They don't even really know how to interview. They need to, do more research before they interview. She was throwing shade at Joe even before her interview came out. So if you knew you were going to be having an interview with Joe Budden, why would you shade him on that podcast and then think that he still would have put your interview out? Now, maybe at the time she did that interview, maybe she hadn't interviewed with Joe yet. I don't know. But she should have known once he saw that, it might have been a problem. Okay? So now people are saying that Cardi B also had something to do with this because Cardi B told him that, don't put that interview out with Tasha K, or she will never come by his show anymore. When her her album drop or whatever, she will not come to his show. And from what I hear, he didn't put the interview out, but he did say on Clubhouse why he did not put the interview out. He said it didn't have anything to do with Cardi B, that he actually did not put the interview out because of other things. It had nothing to do with Cardi B. Okay? So I'm going to get that clip as well. Give me 1 second, you guys. Now, while that's loading, you guys in the chat, let me know what you're thinking about this whole thing. I mean, what did you think about her interview with Adam? Like, I was very uncomfortable with her constantly using the N word, calling our people, N's. And, even though I know that white people listen to hip hop, and I guess it's the cool thing to do. You could say if they cool, they can dance and all this. They're invited to the cookout and all this shit. So the culture that we're in now and the world we raised up in now, honey, anything goes. And it seems like white people's allowed to say this shit. So I guess she felt comfortable. She felt because he's part of the with the rappers and OnlyFans and all this different stuff. Adam 22 is supposed to be, you could talk like that around him. He's invited to the cookout, you know what I'm saying? But if you heard him when he said, when they were comparing the Southern talk and how, she's cusses and how ghetto her family is. And he said, well, he was from New Hampshire and Massachusetts area. And he said, I'm from the North and my girl has to get used to how I just call cussing, talk to my friends. Hey, dickhead, get over here. But his talk and his bravado is a little bit, it's not as bad as the N word, and he ain't calling his fellow white people crackers and shit like that. I mean, we were called niggas by white people as slavery. Like, I'm just very uncomfortable when I hear black people sit around white people and use that word. I'm just very uncomfortable with that. I don't care how cool they are. I don't care how much, they know the rap songs and they date black women or they hang around black people. I just think that it's disrespectful and ignorant and classless to sit around and talk like that. It's ignorant. You look ignorant. You look uneducated, and it just plays into every stereotype about black women and black people. You're on a show that has 4.8 million viewers. It's all types of people. It's diverse. You don't know who is watching that. And that's how you sat up there and handled your interview and how you carried yourself. And your husband was in the audience out there listening and watching. Chelsea and all the rest of them was probably there. And they probably made you think that you did a really good job. You probably felt like you got that shit off. Y'all going from place to place doing all this different shit. But if I was a part of that team, I would have been embarrassed, because I could tell that Adam wasn't even intrigued by the interview. He wasn't even, it was boring. He was feeding her, the topics. He was just trying to get through it. He was very uncomfortable when she said that the man that molested her had the bumps on his penis and made her suck it, and said, she called his wife and said, "Do you know that he was effed me when I was young?" I mean, come on. That's how you refer to being abused as a child, saying that the man effed you? Not that he assaulted you, not that he raped you, effed you. He effed me. Come on. That's classless, tasteless, ghetto. So now here is Tasha. Here is actually Tasha K's rant. Okay, because she went on a rant, honey, after Joe, I guess, so-called, didn't put out her interview. Okay. She went on a rant and was upset that he did not put out the interview. So let me get that clip for y'all real quick. Give me 1 second.
Hey y'all, come on in, come on in. Let me put some lip gloss on. My lips is dry. Give me a second. Y'all come on in here. Okay. My hair already messed up. Y'all come on in here. Let me know when you in here. Hey, y'all. Okay. How's everybody doing? Okay. I need the moderators dropping the link to Adam's interview with me. Yes, I need the moderators dropping the link to Adam's interview with me. Shout out to Adam. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate No Jumper. And I wanted to come on here and say something because I have to say it. And I talk with, I was kind of wrestling back and forth. And then, once I had some time to really, really ponder on things, because that's what I do. I think a lot. I overthink. I said, I got to say this because if I don't say it, you guys expect for Black media to be as fair and have as much integrity as possible. You guys expect that from us. You deserve that. With all this fake news and fake narratives going on, especially during heightened times like this where, we got AI in the mix and people can make it up or, it's hard to really, really hone in on that authenticity. And I want to tell you something that I did that I'm not proud of, and, that's what this platform is for. It's not to judge anyone. We come, we get enlightened, we laugh at our problems, and we come with, we lead with ideas, whether it's inspiration, whether it's, just feeling good and knowing that life is really, really not that serious, And so I did something that I shouldn't have done. But I'm glad I did it because it will never happen again. So when we were putting together my PR run, okay, for our October 20th wine, gossip, and comedy show in Miami, everybody has been reaching out to me to do an interview. Everybody. I turned down We in Miami 4 times. 4 times. Like, I have been turning down everybody. Okay? And I'm like, I'm not ready because I'm really focusing on my brand. I don't want no one out here to create a narrative for my brand. So when I go to speak on other people's platforms, they're going to know that the brand is solidified and there's nothing you can do to change that narrative. But I said, but if I ever give that one interview, it's got to be with Black media. And it's got to be with someone who I feel is not afraid, it's got to be with somebody that I feel that is not afraid to allow the truth to come out, but still remain objective. right? And take an objective stance. Not take sides, but be the platform, okay, that people want to watch, but still remain non-biased and objective. So people can draw what they want from it. And I really honestly thought, because I thought long and hard that was going to be Joe Budden. I said, I could have sat down with anybody to give that one, right? Because my interview with Adam is nothing compared to what I did for Joe Budden. I said, it's got to be black media. And it's got to be somebody that I feel has been objective. And I've watched his approach to everything that I've had going on. And he's always been very objective, in my opinion. I felt like, he didn't mind speaking out or calling out the bullshit, and being professional about it. But at the same time, calling it for what it is, because he's shared some of his own shit, like when Rory and Mal left, I saw him go through that. And that's hard, when you both of your hosts leave you and you got to figure out what to do. And this narrative is being spared about you. Or when Tahiri and all these other women were trying to say that he was a woman beater, right? And I never picked up those stories because I didn't believe them. I just did not believe they did, he did what they said he did at the time because of where it came from. I'm like, there's a way that, women go about, explaining domestic violence and all of this. And I just didn't feel like it was coming from a great place. And I'm just telling you from what I've observed. And so I was like, with someone who's been falsely accused of things, and he's still been able to rise above all of the negativity, and he understands what it's like to be the underdog, and how you see people that you feel is not even better than you get bigger contracts than you, get treated better. Why are these streaming services lowballing me but highballing them? And I'm putting in the work day by day. I now understand why nobody fucks really with Joe. Joe is all bark, but no bite. All bark, but no bite. Meaning he says what people want to hear to get their attention. But when it comes to putting the money on the table to pay the bill, you gonna have to be knocking on that door looking for that money. You said you was gonna do this. And he has every right to do what he wants to do with his platform. This is not what this is about. This is about him getting it out the mud, having to rebrand himself after they labeled him a drug addict, a woman beater, all of these things. But I should have known that when he sat his ass on Drink Champs and he said out his own mouth that when Jay-Z calls, he gets scared. And I said that to him in the interview that I did. I said, you and I, even though we're the same, but the way you move and the way I move is different. Jay-Z can't call me and tell me to bark. He can't call me and tell me to bite. Jay-Z don't pay none of y'all bills, but for you to be a black man to sit up and just bow down to this other black man and he ain't did a motherfucking thing for you, he didn't even remember saying that. But then when I hear, he's got to comb through the interview, he's got to make sure this and make sure that, I bodied each and every one of those black men to the point that all of them said after they were done, we're winos. Tasha, you can come back here anytime you want. I sat outside and I had a conversation with this black man. I said, what's sad is that we cannot, as black media, stick together for the betterment of the people. And he was like, black media will never do it. Black media will never do it. And now he's literally owning up to his own words. We're black media. We're not supposed to be friends. We're not supposed to have industry colleagues to the point where it affects the work. When it starts to affect your work and your judgment, when a BBL starts to fuck with your mind and your dick and you make bad decisions based off of outside aesthetics and you ignore doing the right thing. But when the BBL turns around and tries to say you kicked babies out of her stomach and broke ribs, now you want the non-BBL bitch to speak up for you. This is the type of nigga that Joe Budden is. And I honestly regret sitting down with him and giving him that one interview that would shake social media so bad that it shook his fake ass in that lace shirt with his belly sitting over his dick. That he did exactly what the BBL told him to do, because just like every other weak ass black man, they choose ass over bills. Now I want y'all to clip this. Yes, angry, black, bald head. That's what I want you to clip. And I honestly regret giving him the interview that I should have gave that cracker Adam 22 when he had the intelligence to read my case, instead of me sitting down with a black man that is supposed to have my back when I'm supposed to have his back, when Latino women are out here saying that he's breaking ribs and kicking babies out of their fucking stomachs. Then you want the black woman to come sit in court and picket for your bitch ass. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. And you wonder why black people don't get ahead, because we can't fucking stick together. We want to try to mask it and blame crackers. But no, it's your jealous bitch ass. Fucking right, I'm mad. And you want us to settle. That's why you chose a black woman. Shout out to Melissa Ford. But let me say something. I said this to her. You chose Melissa Ford for that platform because she would never stand up to your bitch ass. You are the type that hates women with a fucking voice. So when they cry and say, oh, somebody did this to me, you feel sorry for the pussy until the rabbit got the gun on your bitch ass, calling you a drug addict, calling you a woman beater. But you innocent. But you ain't take the time to read my case, nigga. You ain't never picked up the motherfucking court documents. You just believe that bitch. Because she got a BBL and a pussy. The same bitch that'll turn around and say you kicked the baby out her stomach. Don't fucking play with me. So yes, I'ma push this cracker above you. And I will never in my life ever consider color or expect a black man such as yourself to have a black woman's back. And the next time these bitches get up to say you beat their ass, I'ma fucking believe them. The same way you believe that bitch. Now consider that aspect, nigga. Now head over to No Jumper and you watch that interview and you get to know Tasha K and everything I fucking built myself with my black African husband who's not afraid to stand up to no nigga. Including you. You fake. You fake. All talk, no backbone in your motherfucking ass, bitch. Now that's why I called you gay.
Ooh, she gonna cry in the car, child. She had to stop that rant because that white shit started coming out the side of her mouth, child. She had to stop that goddamn white. That white shit was coming out the side of her mouth, y'all. The white at the mouth. She was screaming so bad, the white around her lips. It was the white around her lips for me, okay? But I want to tell you why she's so angry. She was so pissed that she was about to cry, okay? That's how mad she was. Now, you know, when it's given you about to cry, she was mad, okay? She hurried up and stopped that goddamn tape because that white shit had done flew out her mouth. And she had to hurry up and stop that goddamn live. I said, well, do Lord. Ah! And she was, I wish y'all could see me on the camera, honey, but she was in that shit. She was swinging her hip. And what your bitch ass? Honey, black ball hell, black ball hell. She was upset with my African husband. Shaq said, no, don't, I told you to leave Cardi B alone. Don't put me in the shit. Shaq said, don't put me in the shit. Don't put me in the shit. I said, black ball hell. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put me in this shit. We don't do it. I'm from Africa. We don't do it. I told you to leave Cardi B alone, but you don't listen. Look at you. Look at you. You spit it at the camera. Turn that shit off. Before I go get my other 2 wives. Bitch. Honey, the earring, KB. She done had to through them fucking earrings. Them bitches that she done got from the motherfucking beauty supply store, honey. Black ball hell. Black ball hell. I said, damn. The fucking exorcist is about to come up out of her. What that shirt? Sit around your dirt. That shirt around you. When they say you cook the baby out of stomach, you believe that, bitch. You believe the baby hell. I said, well, who's she talking about with the BBL? And damn right, I'm gonna push that cracker. I said, damn. Adam gave you an interview, you calling him a cracker? Bitch, that's why your ass ain't where you trying to get. She want these people to put her on the show, but she want a motherfucking talking, cuss them the fuck out. Girl, you cannot cuss people out when you don't get the job. Black or bald hell. Stop it, girl. Well, house honey, house girl, this is what we do over here. We've been giving analysis all night, boo. We have been up here for 2 hours, sweetheart. We're gonna get to it, house. I like to make the peoples laugh, house. Stop being so serious, boo. We're gonna get there. Oh, black, oh, bald hell. I said, girl, you better stop for them fucking teeth fall out your mouth. Ooh, girl, ain't nobody tell you to cut off your hair. Stop it, girl. Ain't nobody tell you to cut off your hair. Now you mad because you bald head. Girl, you mad. You mad. Ooh, you mad. You mad because everybody got a platform and you don't. No, see, let me tell y'all something. You know what? All jokes aside, you know why she really want him to release that video? You know why? Because see, now I'm going to give House wanted the analysis. So now I'm going to give y'all the tea, okay? She called them people, all right? Every interview that she has done, all the so-called press run that she's going on, she called Chelsea, Jasmine. They have been making calls. Did you hear her ask Adam? You know how much a PR costs? Adam said, no, not really. Oh, well, $5,000 a month. See, Adam doesn't know those things because Adam literally has a team. He has a contract and he has people doing all of this. He literally just is the talent. He doesn't have to do all of, work with his PR and, make sure they're calling and doing their job and make sure they're posting and they're sitting in your audience doing your show with you. And no, he doesn't have to do all that. He literally it just shows up and he's the talent. They take care of all that. So he does not know how much that shit costs. So no, ma'am, he does not know that they're $5,000 a month. No, he doesn't know. He has no fucking clue. All right. But that's where you're trying to get. And so when you're trying to get what these people have and you're trying to be on that level, you can't go in the car and scream and holler when things don't go your way. When someone tells me that I didn't get the job after an interview, I can't tell them, well, fuck you then. I ain't want that job any motherfucking way. Who'd you hire? Well, fuck her too. No, I have to say, okay, well, thank you for the opportunity. You can keep my resume on file. And if something comes up, I'll be more than happy. I'm here, whatever you would say. But you still send a follow-up letter. You're still professional. And you go on and you get another job. You literally cannot want to cuss out the industry, but want to be in the industry. Do you understand that? Tasha very much wants to be in the industry, but she wants her winos to think that she doesn't. Oh, we want to be independent. We want to have all autonomy. We want this. We want that. No, she wants to be a no jumper. She wants to be a Joe Budden. She wants to be on Spotify. She wants a deal because who wouldn't? That's the whole goal. But you literally can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't cuss out the boss and then still want a job. The industry is where you're trying to get into. You keep calling yourself a broadcaster, a journalist. That's not how a journalist and a broadcaster behaves. Yeah, you can cuss somebody out, but you do that behind the scenes. You don't turn on the live and cuss. So you know what? Certain networks could be seeing that and say, oh, we're not going to work with her. She gets upset with us. That's how she's going to talk to us. Those crackers and people you call crackers, honey, they're the ones that are going to have to give you a job. So the only place you going to be is down to doing the cabarets that you're trying to put together, the little cabaret shows, and you going to be on YouTube doing your show. That's about all you're going to be able to do because you cannot play the game. You are too angry and you're too upset. Now, the reason that shit didn't go down with the whole Joe Budden thing is because she called them and she literally wanted Joe Budden. You know why she wanted Joe Budden? Because of the Cardi B connection. And she thought that Cardi, that would have been the biggest insult to her. That would have been like a jab in the face to Cardi B. That is why she wanted it. She don't give a fuck about Joe Budden. She wanted that to spite Cardi B. And because it didn't go out like that, it didn't go down like that, she's pissed. She's pissed. She literally should be coming off of a high from doing her interview with no jumper. Because she sat there and said that she was looking for, now pay attention to this lie. She said that she was literally looking for Black media to do that one interview. You know, that one. And that one was with Joe Budden. So that interview that you did with Adam wasn't that one? Girl, what more can you possibly tell? You talked about your life. You talked about Cardi B. What more? You're literally only a fucking YouTuber. When they asked you who was your inspiration, you said yourself. Pitiful. That's pitiful. That's very arrogant, ignorant response. Then you said Nancy Grace. You cleaned it up and said Nancy Grace. But you said that nobody literally inspired you. But you always trying to throw out black media, black this, black that. You throw that shit out when you want people to be on your team. And you want people to go along with your foolishness. What do black women got to do with this shit with you and Joe Budden? We don't got a damn thing to do with that. We ain't got shit to do with you being black and bald-headed. Girl, we ain't got nothing to do with that. Angry. We ain't got nothing to do with that. That's your shit. You need to clean all of that up. You need to get your emotions in check. You need to get yourself together because you are bitter, you are angry, and you're not going to get anywhere with that attitude. You need to clean all of that up. When things don't go your way, you cannot go cry in the car and have a fucking temper tantrum because someone didn't put your interview out. Then you drag this man from front to back and cuss him the fuck out because he didn't. Now, I'm going to play the clip with Joe Budden and listen at why he did not put this interview out. And I believe every word of this. I'm not a big fan of Joe Budden, but I want you to listen to this. He was on Clubhouse, and check this out. Check out what he said.
But it's one lady who decided to talk about you this weekend. Just to clear up for the community, some people were just worried about why you chose her in general. Can you just explain why might you had respected her work at one time?
Oh, you talking about Shorty Doo-Wop?
Yes, indeedy.
And keep in mind that we said at one time. That does this statement that he says has no reflection on how he may feel now.
No, listen,
And
the girl's work ethic is her work ethic. Like, and she has it. Like, can't nobody take that away from her. I wanted to learn more about her. Clearly negligence on my part with that old her Cardi. They both seem to be entirely too passionate about whatever occurred for even a regular interview to go down. But the interview wasn't coming out not because of Cardi. Like I already told her, that interview was a problem legally, financially, and algorithmically. There was a lot going on in that interview. It would be foolish of me to just put out an interview with the girl that just got sued and lost for $4 million without checking this. So all of this up just happened to happen while my lawyers was looking at this. So, I mean, listen, you play with pigs, you get mud on you. I don't have nothing to say. Let the people have their fun kicking my back, and I think I'm kind of like immune to it now. Like it don't, as long as they ain't affecting nothing in real life, I don't care.
Exactly.
I want to follow up on the pigs, playing the pigs with mud. I remember you saying you didn't.
I just think like it's really y'all can laugh, but I just really think that it's effective that he's listening and he's watching real time and saying like, yo, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, like, and I'm seeing how all of y'all are acting. Like there's a strength in knowing like
just energy.
No, somebody hit it on the head earlier. When we spoke to Tasha K, it sounded like she had a lot of hurt in life and was just ready to hurt anybody else. Like that's just a very destructive type of energy that I wouldn't have got that from her without meeting her. Like meeting her and hearing her story, and it's like, oh, this is why you like this. It's like, oh, okay, this is why some things are maybe hindering your progress. Oh, this is why there's levels to this. The way you move and it's still kind of low. I don't want to say low level, but it's
low vibrational.
Yes, yeah. It's a lot of that. So not to knock
Go ahead,
her.
Dash.
So aside from the legal standpoint, which is a huge standpoint, did her doing any of those clickbait videos with you and Melissa Ford's name in the titles have anything to do with it? Just a question for
No, I
you.
don't care about them videos. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, we had a really good interview. I understand why she's pissed about it not coming out. It was great. It was great. Like all around the board, it was great. But yeah, there was a lot in there that could have been all bad fast. So it was great, but it was great at what cost, right? Like I don't gain nothing from putting this out and then having this whole world of trouble just happen to pop up out of nowhere. Like I gain absolutely nothing from this interview. Like it's not worth it. I just thought it was
So
a
is
cool idea and a great way to end our vacation.
Now, I don't know if you guys, I mean, it doesn't, it's not far fetched. I believe this. I literally believe what he's saying. I don't think that he's lying. I do believe that once the attorneys, because like he said, he would be foolish not to check through this. I'm going to, when I did the interview with Hazel E., when I did the interview with Moniece, Claudia Jordan, all the different little people that I have had interviews with, I am not able to just throw up the product. I have to send it to their team. They got to review what it is that I'm putting out. And then if there's any changes, they'll tell me what they want me to take out. That's with anybody that I interview, but mainly with celebrities or whatever you want to call them, people that's in the public. I've interviewed those people. And I know that what he's saying is true. They want to check it first because they want to make sure that nothing is said that is illegal, nothing is accusations and different things. I have a couple, takeouts of what from Hazel E. and Moniece's original videos where we took things out. Hazel E had some clips in her interview that me and her did where she was talking about Tierra Marie, where she was talking about Masika. And we had to take a couple of it out because she didn't want certain things. She didn't want no backlash. So we took it out. So he is right. I don't have attorneys, but I'm pretty sure they do. So they look over these things. And if Tasha just got sued $4 million, that's a liability. I keep saying that. She is a liability. And a liability isn't always, oh, you got sued because of somebody. The liability is just having to have attorneys and people look over some shit because of you. You're a hothead because like he said, her and Cardi are both passionate about what has happened between the two of them. It just so happened Cardi got a little bit more pull than you, Tasha K, and you're trying to get there. So it wasn't wise to beef with Cardi B. And that's your problem. Your problem is that you don't want to respect that girl. You just don't want to give her the respect and the clout that she's due. You don't. You don't want to give her her flowers. You do not want to admit that this girl is a celebrity and that she is solidified. You just don't. Any chance you get, you are kicking her back in. You trying to put her down. You're shading her. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that energy. It's low vibrational. Like he said, you still out here moving funny, even after being sued. Then you said that he didn't take the time to read the court documents. Man, we have all read those fucking court documents. We've all heard. We had the auto of inside of the courtroom when you were going through the summary judgment. So we know what happened in court. What does he need to read? Why does he need to take the time to read anything? He pretty much knows the gist of everything. There's no need to read the court documents and see how y'all fucked up and how Olga and Sadir fucked your whole case up. Everyone knows the truth. Everyone knows what happened. Ma'am, you were sued and you lost. You have to pay Cardi $4 million. So no one is going to take a chance of not looking over your interview, and they're not going to put anything out that's going to come back to bite them in the ass. Who's going to risk their career over Tasha K, a YouTuber that nobody really knows? They're doing you a favor. This is going to help you more than it's going to help him. So what is he going to gain from this? And then even though he was going to have, he was going to have the courtesy to put it out, you didn't even take that into consideration. You couldn't wait to jump in your truck and fucking drag him. That damn truck that you listed on the bankruptcy, you sitting up there with your earrings and fucking frothing at the mouth. You got all that white shit around your mouth, cussing and screaming and spitting and hollering, about to cry because of an interview. You want this, and see, that's that want, that hunger. You know how it feels when you want something so bad you could taste it. She wants fame so bad, but it's sad she's never going to get it. She fucked up, and that's her problem. You fucked up, dear. So you better make the most of what you can make the most of, which is your shows, your little app, and whatever. Because that, I told you, you were not going nowhere. You're not going anywhere. You're not going off of YouTube. And you did that. You got to learn to play the ball. You got to learn how to play the game. You got to learn that in this industry and in this time that we're in, certain people, they are gatekeepers. They got the keys. They hold the keys. And if you don't want to play the game, well, then your ass is going to be independent and you're going to stay on YouTube, period. So stop going to these people trying to get a chance. Stop going to these people asking them to feed you. And then when they do try to give you a chance, this is what they get. This is what they get. You could have probably tried to talk this out with Joe. But what did you do? You went up there and dragged the fuck out of him. And if I was him, you couldn't call me. You couldn't say shit to me. Keep that same energy. And like he said, see, he was smart enough to realize whatever you gave him in that interview, it probably was the same story, some of the shit that you said on No Jumper. So like he said, this is why you're like this. Same way we said. We can hear it. We can put two and two together. Oh, so this happened in her childhood. Oh, she grew up with these type of people. Oh, she talks like this and she acts like this because of how she was raised, because of where she come from, and she still ain't turned it around yet. She's still bitter. She's jealous and envious of Cardi B. She wants to be Cardi B, low key. She wants what Cardi got. I low key think she likes Offset. I think she's attracted to Offset and Future. I think she like those little thug ass niggas. Just like, and I said thug niggas because I'm on my show. I ain't with no white person talking to them. I said that because, hey, it's after dark. But I think she like those rappers. I think she likes that. You see what she was saying when she was younger and she was hopping her tail around. Oh, funky tail, like her aunt said, funky tail. So I think she's attracted to Future. I think she's attracted to Offset. And she's jealous of Cardi B. That's why she's jealous of her sister. And she don't like her sister because her sister, her half sister, has a baby with Future. She's jealous of that. She wants that industry life. She lied to everybody on YouTube and said that she paid all this money for attorneys. Now we find out it's only $5,000. Right. And then she says, where I'm supposed to get that from? Where I'm supposed to get that money from? Girl, where you supposed to get it from? Well, you wasn't supposed to be sued. You wasn't supposed to owe that kind of money. Where I'm supposed to get it from YouTube, from your app, from your shows. That's where you're supposed to get it from. Even Adam recognized that. So you're not bitter. You're not upset that every dime you make got to go to Cardi B. Oh, well, she only get a percentage. She only get this. She only get that. She can only get what I give her. All these excuses. Ma'am, you need to humble yourself and you need to figure this out. Because the way you're moving and the way you're going out here 100 miles an hour, thinking that you're looking professional, you look stupid. You look like a fool. You look like a messy YouTuber, man. Nobody cares about your platform. Your platform is not as big and solidified as you think it is. It is not even it's not even in the top 10 on YouTube. It's not even trending. It's not even up there with the goddamn true crime YouTubers. And you're still at 1 million views. Yes, she has a sister. I believe that her name is Gloria or something like that. And she has a baby with Future. I have a picture of her and everything. We'll do a show about it. I actually I got tea on that. Her sister, I believe her name is Gloria. But my whole thing is everything that Tasha K has done, she's done to herself. She's done it to herself. She wants to be in the industry, but she don't want to play the game. She don't want to be respectful. She wants to be ghetto, ignorant, and cuss and say whatever it is she want to say. That's what she wants to do. So you can do that, but you just have to stay on YouTube with that shit. So I watched all this shit and I put all this together. I hope you guys, understood everything that I was saying. I hope I gave you, all of the receipts and you were able to put this together for yourself and you see what it gave. I mean, she just went off in that truck and I just think she just been looking foolish. I don't think that her interview with No Jumper was good at all. I really don't. I don't think that it was good. I don't think that her interview with Joe Budden probably wasn't too far from that. What exactly could she say that we all are going to do like a wow moment? Like literally, we've all had enough of Tasha K. I have kept everybody abreast of what's going on with Tasha K. The YouTube community knows what's going on with Tasha K. The world doesn't even care. Nobody cares about that shit. Nobody's gonna, let's tune in and see Tasha K. Half of the industry doesn't even like Tasha K. She's told everybody's business. Nobody trusts her. Yeah, she's a blog, but she's not a blog like the Shade Room or the Neighborhood Talk or even Jason Lee or, Armand's coming up in the game and doing well. And let's not even forget about fucking Lovely T. She rocks. When she says she's in a class all by herself, girl, no, you are not. No, you are not. There are plenty of black meat. Wiley is good. I mean, hey, I don't even put myself nowhere near any of those people because I'm just starting out and I don't even consider myself a blogger. I consider myself a commentator. I just commentate, talk my shit. I really like to do the documentaries. That's my strong suit. My strong suit is not live shows. I can put them together and I can give the production, but my strong suit is not that. My strong suit where I can hold an audience for a long period of time is when I break down, do the deep dives and I do shows like this and I do my documentaries. That's what you have to know what you're good at. Tasha K has it. She has what it takes. She has the personality and she does have the work ethic, but she's too bitter. She's rough around the edges. I'm not going to say this woman is not talented because she is. She is very captivating as far as like holding it on. She's not boring with her shows, but it's like how much tea can you get? Like how many disgusting stories can you find? Half of it is lies. It's all embellished. It's like a tabloid. She is. Nobody trusts her. Nobody. She gets the stories from people that are calling to shame people and expose them for a couple dollars, but she doesn't try to do other content that can carry her through. She just puts herself in this box and has to be forced to keep finding T. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure to keep trying to go viral. And like I said, YouTube is not like, you get a certain amount of money and that's what you get all the time. No, your revenue goes it starts all over. The count starts all over at the first of the month, every month. It wipes all down to zero and you start all over again. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's all I really got about this. We've been live for 2.5 hours. You know, we covered it from top to bottom. She was even talking about Whack 100. You know, Whack 100 alluded to that he had maybe possibly, you know, slept with Tasha K. She, of course, has denied that. You know, she's beefs with everybody. Tasha K is beefing with everybody. And when I say talent, Mira, I mean like the YouTube show. Like her YouTube show, it's nice, you know. She's got the good, you know, lighting and she makes her interview sets look great. And it's the production is great. And I believe that she's a good, you know, interviewer and she's entertaining. I do think she's good for a YouTuber, but that's the level she's at. That's it. She can't rise above that. She's so used to YouTube and she's so used to being, you know, thinking that she's the queen of YouTube and that she's pulling all the stuff. She's done all of the slick shit and the shady shit on YouTube to get where she's at with her numbers. Half of her views don't even match, you know, what her numbers are. So this seems like the subscriber count might be a little inflated because the views don't match, you know. So she's not going to rise above YouTube until she gets some professional people to work with. She gets some media, you know, maybe a media team or people to help her with her you know, her etiquette and her interview skills as far as interviewing with other people. Because like Adam said, when you put in her name on YouTube, all you find are her interviews that she did with other people. You don't find interviews about her. Now lately she's been everywhere and you know you're getting to see interviews now, but it's literally the same story. It's literally her telling the same story everywhere and then throwing a little bit of lies and mixing the truth with lies. And it's just like, man, you know, which one is it? So that's all I got, y'all. I am out, fresh out of commentary. It's going on 2 a.m. and I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Shout out to all of the 211 people that are in the building. Thank you so much for the super chats. Let me check Cash App because I didn't see anything while I was live. I wasn't paying attention. Yes. Thank you for the Cash App. There's 2. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. The Cash App is on the screen. So I'm getting ready to go, you guys. Like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I will catch you guys on the next. Sweet Pea, we need you to say bald head, black, a bald head, black and bald head, black, a bald head. Y'all so fucking crazy. Good night.